Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. As promised, it's time to resume work on Project Z28. Alright everyone, as promised, the next video is of Project Z28. First thing I'm going to do before I get the car in the garage is I need to replace this burnt up radiator hose. I need to get this thing out of here. Because I can't use it again, I'm just going to go ahead and cut it. Try to slowly peel it off the heater hose, or the heater core. That's the best way to go ahead and try to save that. And hopefully that was it. Okay. It just so happened I actually have a piece of hose that was pretty much the same length. So I'll try to do this without making this very big mess. I said it before, sorry about the total lack of content. Really just hasn't been anything going on. A lot of stuff behind the scenes. And just, I don't know, I just really haven't been kind of like, I hate to say it, kind of like in the mood to make a video or do any content. I don't know, I just guess I'm tired of getting my ass kicked by this car constantly, but it comes with the territory. If you want to do this to your car, be prepared to improvise or do stuff. So, but here we are, we're working on it. We're gonna get it ready and running. I really do believe that I get this intake manifold in here, we should be good to go, or the intake manifold gasket, I should say. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a razor blade and I'm going to slice the top of this, what's left of the heater core, or the heater hose on the heater core. And that way we're not yanking on like said heater core to get it out. Because the last thing we want to do is end up breaking the damn heater core. And then we have to fight to get that out. Bad enough I already got to try to recharge this air conditioning. It's really not a big deal, even if I have to put a vacuum on it. I mean, I have all the tools. Broke free. There we go. So that's what I did. As I split that open. See, I couldn't get to that last bit, but at least when I was able to do that, I was able to break it free. Okay. Alright, now the only thing, after I do these clamps, I gotta fix this vacuum line. It melted in a little bit of fire we had too. Sometimes you just need a huge pair of pliers. These things have helped me out so much on some of these heater clamps. Alright, we got one job done. Let me take a second and congratulate my friend Daily ZL1. He hit one of those milestones for YouTubers at 500 subscribers, and he's having a giveaway. Auto parts up to $500 or $500 cash. So you might want to go to his page, check it out, and sign up for the giveaway. It's going to be good through, I think, the end of May 2020. So if you're in the market for some free money, go ahead and check it out. Check out his channel. Me and him went to Cletus and Cars together. If you missed that video, go check them out on both of our channels. Alright, let's see about maybe fixing this. I can't find the rest of that vacuum. So fortunately, I have some of this plastic line left over from the EGR valve system. That went somewhere. I don't know where it went. But it's the same hose here, and I could reuse it. The only problem, I need something to splice the two ends, so I had these black rubber caps. They're designed to cap off vacuum lines. All I'm going to do is snip the ends off, and then that should make for like a plug. And then hopefully this will all go back together nicely. If you spend any time at car working on cars and you don't have one of these, you really should. Ah, dang it, where'd it go? There it is. This thing went right next to the battery clamp, the battery hold down. Ah, look at that. Ah, crap. Next step now, we're just going to go ahead and pull in the garage. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the ramps because this thing's just too low to work on as it is. I'm going to try to bring it up, and then unfortunately we got to remove all the runners and everything to get to the bottom. I was really hoping to never do that again because there's some bolts that you have to go under the intake and go over that way. I'm hoping if I just loosen them, it's enough to get this upper plenum off and I don't have to take them out all the way to get to the bolts. But wait and see, so let's go ahead and get this done. Really not looking forward to this. Alright, we'll see you in the garage. Boom! Here we are in the garage. Alright, everyone. Let me just apologize. I really wanted to get this video out by Friday, so I had a video out for the week. Unfortunately, my back's kicking my ass. As soon as I put the car on the lift or on these ramps, I don't know what I did, but I popped something in my back again. And believe it or not, I'm not trying to lean, but this is like as straight as I can get myself at the time being. It's just something right here. It's bulging and it's really painful. So I don't want to be like complaining and all that. I just want to let you know why I really haven't been putting out videos. I've got a lot of resources right now tied up in building this garage, so that way we can have a platform to do bigger and better content. We can get the lift, and hopefully we can keep on working on cars and doing some stuff like that. But like I said, right now with this construction project, I don't really have that much going on. I need to revisit the GTO. I need to get that whole lower control arm taken off. I kind of want to wait till I get this garage built. Even if I don't do the lift, I will get the GTO fixed and we'll revisit that. But right now my focus, I just really want to get this car running. I haven't been looking forward to taking this apart, but I do want to get this running. So that being said, I do have some good content coming up. I have a couple of companies that are sending me some things to review, and I really do think you're going to like it. It's not like a cup holder, nothing boring like that, even though they are good products. So I do use it in the cruise. I do like having my phone up there. So I mean, it is kind of cool, but I'm not doing any more cup holders. I did my cup holder reviews and I'm done. But if you do want one that holds your cell phone, my Amazon store link down below. But let me show you this. This is the heater hose we took out. Let's focus on this thing here. You can see right here, it burned the rubber off down to the nylon. Not very good at all. We really don't want to risk taking this out on the road, having that hose blow up, antifreeze everywhere, and then having to tow this thing home, which I really don't even know how. Let's focus on me. There we go. I don't even know how I would get this thing on a tow truck with as low as it is right now, so I really don't want to find out. So it's just cheap insurance. Go ahead and replace it. Now let me show you what I did with the... So this line right here is what I replaced. This valve actually diverts the hot water from going into the heater core, and what this does is, if you're not calling for heat, it blocks some of the coolant from going in there, so it, in effect, it'll try to keep your AC colder by not heating up the heater core and just recirculating it through here. But the fire also burned this tube. It originally ran like this, and I really just kind of want to keep this valve cover area clean, so I had an extra piece here that's like a 90, and it had another bend in it right here, which conveniently just wraps around the dryer right here, and then here's where I put my little connector. So there we go. I got those two things fixed. I got the heater hose replaced, and I got that vacuum line fixed. Next thing I need to do, I need to look at these valve covers. I'm seriously thinking I'm going to go ahead and put the factory valve covers back on, because I have a channel that the gasket sits in. Problem I'm having here is these gaskets keep seeming to suck in and move out of place, and then oil's pouring down, and it's making a friggin' mess. And this is aggravating. This is like twice now I've had these gaskets shift and move on me. I revved up the engine a bit with my thumb in the breather hole, and I could feel like a lot of vacuum being created in there. So I'm thinking it's just sucking those gaskets in. You guys remember I had a problem with the factory valve covers wouldn't sit down because those heads have little dimples that bend down that hit the tracks. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the factory valve covers, cut out a piece of the track right where those dimples are that are built into the cylinder head, and we're just going to put the factory ones back on. I'm really tired of leaks. We're going to go ahead and get this intake manifold off. We're going to put in the new gaskets. Hopefully that's going to fix wherever my antifreeze leak is coming from. I really think it's coming from there, because I had the vacuum leak. I just think the gasket got compromised or something. So we're going to put in a new gasket. Hopefully this is going to solve my vacuum leak, my coolant leak, and then we're going to get this car just purring, and hopefully, fingers crossed, everything's going to be good to go, and we're going to drive this car. So let's go get this manifold off. Alright, I figure I'd go ahead and check in with you. So far this has gone pretty easy. This all came apart a whole lot easier than what I thought. And what I noticed, pretty much only had one runner that was really loose, and I was able to move the top of the manifold out. The back runner here on the driver's side and the front runner here on the passenger side both have one bolt that comes in from behind, and it's a real royal pain to get to. I think what I'm going to do is just totally tighten up. When I put this back together, I'm going to put these two runners in, totally tighten them up, and then kind of sandwich the top half in. Hopefully that should work. Yeah, everything's going good. It actually took me longer to get the studs out of the heads that I put in for those other valve covers. But other than that, yeah, it's been going pretty smooth. The only thing I need to do now is remove this upper radiator hose, remove this heater hose, remove these two fuel lines, take the distributor cap off. I need to mark where the rotor is and then mark where the base is, so that way when I stick it back in, the timing should be right on spot. And then it's just going to be a matter of the bolts. We'll get this intake off, and then we'll silicone it in the proper way. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I could feel now down here, I could feel like a big pocket where it doesn't feel like maybe the silicone just blew out or something, but it feels really gushy there. And then right here where the gasket sticks out, the actual intake manifold gasket, it looks kind of damp, like antifreeze is right there. So that would actually be a very good thing if that's the case right there. It also seems I have some antifreeze at this one bolt. Yeah. So I'm going to end up siliconing this one bolt. And then those new gaskets should stop the leaks. But being how this is right here at the cylinder head, if it leaked, it would run down the head. And that's why the head looked damp. So I think we're on the right track to get this car running. Let's get back at it. Alright, I don't know where the GoPro I had suction cupped up here doing the time lapse turned off, but we do have the intake manifold off. Before I get it cleaned up and put it on, I need to run Lowe's real quick. Ken at First TPI gives you really nice stainless Allen bolts. The last time I put this manifold on, I fought with these things. It's so hard to get an Allen in there and then turn it a little bit at a time. I'm going to go just trade these out for regular bolts. So I'm going to go to Lowe's, get bolts. We'll come back, clean up this gasket material here, there. What I'm going to do is go ahead and lay everything down tonight, get the manifold bolted down, let it sit overnight, let everything cure, and then we'll proceed and get everything put back on tomorrow. And hopefully we'll get it, it'll start right up, and all these problems will be solved. So let's head to Lowe's. Alright everyone, as you can see, the base of the manifold is down. This time I took my time, I made sure everything was clean, I wiped down everything 2 times with alcohol. I made sure I put down a really nice thick bead of silicone, and this time I made sure I dropped the manifold straight down. I think a lot of the problem I had last time was, remember when I went to put the manifold on, the bolt holes didn't line up. I dry fit it without the gaskets the very first time, and it lined up, so then I had end up having to remove stuff, and I think all that moving around just really contaminated a lot of surfaces, or things shifted. I just had a lot of problem with stuff lining up. So this time I made sure just to line it up, take my time, drop the manifold straight down so there was no shifting and all that, and we got it down there. The silicone feels really good this morning. It's nice and firm on the front and back. Last night it was still a little gummy. This is why I wanted to give it 24 hours and let it set up overnight. So now I'm going to go ahead and get the runners installed. So we got to do the runners. The upper plenum goes on. Then the only thing I need to do is the 2 fuel lines, this radiator hose, a heater hose over there, top it off with coolant, and that should be it except for the valve covers. Now I'm running into a problem with these factory ones. Like I said, I was going to try to cut out this. Turns out that this metal here, the way they stamped it and rolled it like that, is some damn tough stuff. I burned through a couple of sanding discs on a Dremel. I went to Harbor Freight, bought an air grinder, and the only thing they had was like this metal gnarly looking thing. But look at that, if you can see it. I'm not sure how well it's going to show up. I've already worn off the teeth on a thing doing one cut in this thing. That's some damn tough metal. I really don't know what to do at this point. I want the car started by the end of today, so I'm not going to hold up the project with the valve covers. I can revisit this at any time. I don't know. These are the Felpro gaskets I bought. They even have metal in them. It's supposed to be very rigid, but I don't know. I think maybe these ridges or something like that, it's not adhering very much. And my problem is, like, every time I go in there, it's seriously bent in between these 2 holes. It like gets bent up somehow. I don't understand. These things are kind of rigid, but so I'm just going to go to the auto parts store, get some basic rubber gaskets for this thing. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just put some silicone on the valve covers themselves, put the gasket in there, give it some time to cure, so that way it's kind of stuck to the valve cover. I'll put a little bit of silicone on the heads. We're going to bolt it down, and that should be good to go. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If not, I'll continue working on these. I'll find some way or another to go ahead and grind these down. But that's the update for right now. So hopefully we'll go ahead and get this thing started for you soon. Nice, brand new, flat rubber gasket. It's been silicone in there, a very nice thin bead. It should, it's a little loose in the corner. corner there, but it should be okay. This is where I'm always having a problem, is in between here with this piece moving. So I think we should be good. And as you can see, look, the whole intake manifold's bolted down, fuel lines are in, distributor's in, radiator hose, new thermostat gasket, heater hose is up. Only thing I need to do is valve cover, spark plug wires. I could start it without the intake thing on here, and then that's it. I'm not doing this because it's going to give me more room to access that. So here we are with this this part of the update. Like I said, got the gaskets in here. They're feeling pretty good. They're nice and firm. I'm going to go ahead and put just a little bit of silicone on the valve covers. Drop them on here, and then I'll be able to finish putting the spark plug wires on. See, distributor's in. Just have a couple vacuum lines to hook up, a couple of wires to hook up. Like I said, I just need it loose. It keeps this harness moving. And then that should be it. Oh, then, and this will be simple because these are already cut and done now. Just got the throttle cables here. Got the TV cable, throttle cable, cruise control, vacuum line for the brakes. Just real simple. Plug in the fuel injectors. It's going good, guys. It's going really well. So far, I'm happy, and we'll be putting the chrome covers back on. So fingers crossed for a nice start. Alright, it's Wednesday, May the 20th. I was supposed to have the video up this morning with this car running. One thing, I had to run to Walmart late yesterday. I drained the oil when I was working on the car. You know, inevitably a little bit of antifreeze got down in there. I took some fresh oil, poured it down the valley to kind of flush any of that out. I was planning on changing it anyhow because of all the break-in lube and the break-in oil I had in here for the cam. So I wanted to change it, and I thought I had it here. It turned out last minute I didn't. I had to make a mad rush to Walmart before they close because now nothing's 24 hours. Got the oil, went to start the car. It started. It was just, it didn't have any power. I kept trying to like rev it a little bit, and it just didn't seem to do anything. Also, I found my throttle cable started to fray, and now it's bound. I can't use the gas pedal to accelerate. This is complicating things. So now I'm gonna have to try to find another cable. I had ordered one for an 88. It came in, it was way too short. So I ended up just using the factory one from this car, cutting the end off and putting a tab on there so it would hook to the linkage of the first TPI. And what I was kind of afraid of, one of the cables must have came undone and it came loose. So now the gas pedal's stuck. This is complicating things, but what is really complicating things right now is I'm having no spark. Like I said, it started, it didn't really want to go. It kind of sputtered a little bit, and then it died and it wouldn't start. So this morning I put a meter on the pickup leads of the distributor. It seems to be working. I tried to meter the ignition coil, but I cannot get my meter to get down in here. I could put some like leads in here and test it, but I had the original coil, which is known. It's a known good coil. I put that on. I still don't have any sparks, so the only thing I could come to surmise is this ignition control module. This is the cheapy one from the eBay distributor that was in this car. If you remember when I put the car together, the really nice one that came with the Jegs distributor, I accidentally plugged my intake air temperature sensor plug into this port and switched those two wires somehow. Somehow they had the same plug and they fit. And I fried the module, I replaced it, the car started right up, but for some reason, I don't know why it is, when you take things apart, all of a sudden, when you put them back together, they decide to not want to work anymore. So this didn't work. I went to Advanced, or I went online, Advanced, AutoZone, and O'Reilly don't have a very common module in stock. It all has to come in. Thankfully, Napa has one. I ordered it. They said 30 minutes. I'd get an email that the order was ready to go pick up. It's been over an hour. I haven't had it, so I'm just waiting on that email. I'll go pick it up. I'm going to put this in, and then hopefully next scene, we're going to hear this car run, because that's the whole point of this video, is to hear the car run, to see if the sealing up the intake, if changing these gaskets makes any difference in it idling, and see if we cured any problem, and then let it get up to temperature and see if it doesn't puke out any more antifreeze like it's been doing, and then we know if this thing's been fixed. So this video is going to probably be 25 minutes long. I'm sorry, I try not to do that, especially because it's just been working on cars. It's kind of, it's not like entertaining, like doing stuff. It's just been me, but I'm trying to share me taking this thing apart and this battle getting this car running. So hopefully next scene we're going to hear it start, so I can have this video posted for you hopefully Thursday morning. Alright, I found the problem with the car. It wasn't the control module. In fact, right here, this is one of the power. This comes out of the distributor from that control module, and this tells the coil when to fire. If you look, these wires are broke. At one time, somebody probed these, and they put a meter through here, and it weakened the wires. I knew this was an issue. I knew it kind of felt weak in the past, but now looking at it, like this white wire is totally like separated. Luckily, I just looked, Napa has one in stock. Thankfully. So we're gonna go run down there, get it, and then we should have this car running. I went ahead and soldered in that connector. We got it all heat shrinked. It should be nice and weather tight. I turned the car over, and I got spark on the little spark plug I had set up. It's plugged in, so she should start. Uh-oh. Might need a little help on the idle here. Bump this up just a tad. Let's see where we're at. And it's holding the low idle. I think it's learning how to idle. I think the idle air control is learning how to keep it going. Oh my god, seriously, like my ears are ringing, man. This thing is loud. Alright, everyone, we got it started. Still gonna have to dial some stuff in, but this is where I wanted to be. I wanted to get the car started before we went ahead and ended the video. So thank you very much for your support. Thank you for sticking around for this really long video. The car is running, and like I said, we got some more stuff planned. I'm gonna do a review of a product I think you're gonna like. It's a pretty cool little thing, so make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for that. Again, everyone, like, shares, comments, appreciated. Please subscribe if you haven't. Leave a thumbs up for me. Help this veteran grow his channel, and we'll see you on the next one, man. Thanks for watching. We got it right. Yeah.